From Golden West College, exciting NC2A wrestling. Good evening, everyone. Andy Mariani with you, and joining me tonight, Coach Dale Defner, known around these parts as the head coach of Golden West Wrestling. And we've got an exciting match for you. First-time match, Coach, Division I. We've got Cal State Fullerton taking on the Fresno State Bulldogs.
Yeah, they're in a situation where the reason why we picked up this match tonight is their own gym was not available. They were going through a transition between programs, and we got the new coach in, and the schedule wasn't set for the dual meet at Fullerton. So we had the opportunity to pick this match up, and we jumped at it.
And you, as being a successful coach that you've been throughout these years at Golden West, you want to promote wrestling on any level.
Oh, definitely. I mean, this is an opportunity for us to kind of showcase Cal State Fullerton with a brand new coach. I mean, it'd give us a chance to showcase them in Orange County and see what they got.
And let's talk about that brand new coach. He's coming down from Oregon State, very successful as an assistant, as well as an outstanding wrestler in Dan Hicks.
Yeah, he's got some credentials behind him, and he's already, you can see the enthusiasm building in his own program right now. He's brought in some excellent talent, and it's just a matter of time to see how they develop.
And talking about talent, you have one of your former wrestlers competing tonight.
Yeah, Brandon Gushiken. He wrestled 125s for me last year, and he'll be in the starting lineup tonight.
And we're looking at couple matches where there was competition. A week ago we had a match. Cal State Fullerton had their own tournament just a weekend ago, so you're going to have some rematches, and revenge is going to be motive on the part of a couple other of the athletes.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, it's going to be exciting all the way around, so looking forward to it.
Looking early on when you're analyzing, two teams playing on a neutral site, any advantage to one opponent over the other? What do you expect tonight?
Well, if anything, there's advantage for Fullerton having some of their own home crowd come in. That's the advantage you have as a home team. But otherwise, no, there should be some exciting matchups already. We've seen it in the lineup, and it should be exciting. So.
And you're also familiar with the Fresno State coach. He was a wrestler before, and he has a lot of credentials. He's the WAC Coach of the Year 5 of the last 7 years.
Yeah, he's got some credentials. I mean, he came from, we were just talking today earlier that he had wrestled at Fresno City College before he'd gone to what is called Cal State Fresno now, Fresno State as I remember. But he went over there, and for 25 years he's been leading the Bulldogs.
Dennis Danilo is his name, and he's been very successful, and it's not going to change. He has a very successful program.
Oh, excellent. Last year he had a wrestler that had won the title, the NCAA championships, 3 times, and that was in Stephen Abbas at 125. And any other year he probably would have been voted the OW for the NCAA championship. So Fresno's had a lot of their assistant coaches are guys that have made the finals and know what the show is all about.
And what's done your heart very well is, too, they have also a couple community college wrestlers of their own that are going to be competing today.
Oh, yeah. I've always, obviously that's our next step for our kids to be able to move up into the D1 level. And they've got some guys on their team that obviously from Fresno City College. They kind of stay in that Central Valley there and stay home.
And I'm constantly amazed at this, man. How did you fit this match in your schedule when you've got finals coming up within a week for your own wrestlers?
Well, we just don't happen to have a duel ourselves tonight, but we're getting ready for the state regionals ourselves this Saturday. So we're looking forward to that too. So.
And are you planning ahead already now? You're getting your mind focused on what you need to do to get your particular wrestlers ready?
Oh yeah. We have some kids that'll be they'll be contenders. We're looking forward to that. So.
Exciting wrestling coming your way, a big treat on the campus of Golden West College for the first time, Division I wrestling. It'll be the Cal State Fullerton Titans taking on the Fresno State Bulldogs. We'll be back with the starting lineups and bring you all the action coming up momentarily.
I'm Javed Mashkuri. I joined the Peace Corps because it gave me an opportunity to do something worthwhile in a place that was much different than the place that I grew up and knew. And when I got to Mali, it blew me away. My job was to train local masons and well diggers to construct safe drinking water wells. The Peace Corps showed me what happens when you don't have access to health care. We were providing clean water, which to everyone there is health. And we try to do the same thing here by just providing health care. Compassion, perspective, a sense of adventure. Each and every day, those 3 things help me get through the day and make me a better doc. It's given me more self-confidence in dealing with patients and other people, and also helps me through the most difficult times because I've already been through a lot of those. I'd recommend the Peace Corps to anyone that was thinking about any job. It'll help them excel and be better at whatever they do. I think in Peace Corps you learn the value of service. You're going to want to be in a position to give service back.
Peace Corps volunteers, changing the world, changing America.
If you have diabetes, there are a world of reasons to get a dilated eye exam. Because diabetic eye disease doesn't have to take away your sight. If you need any more reasons, just look around you.
Getting loosened up and ready to go, and what a treat on the campus of Golden West College in Huntington Beach, California. Division I wrestling action. The Cal State Fullerton Titans taking on the Fresno State Bulldogs. We're going to give you those starting lineups in the 125 class. It's going to be Joey Geiler for Fresno State, and it looks like Brandon Gushiken, he will be going on for the former Golden West athlete, and Dale Defner has just joined me. In the 133 category, we have Thomas Fragoza for Fresno State, and he'll be taking on David Rodriguez of the Titans. In the 141 class, we've got Casey Owens going against Juan Mora. In the 149 class, it was a decision between Ricky Palomino and Ralph Lopez. It looks like the coaching staff of Fresno is going to be going with Ricky Palomino, and for Cal State Fullerton, it'll be Brett Gordon. An interesting match in the 157 category, Coach Defner. Jim Medeiros will be taking on Dustin Vance, one of the most successful of the Cal State Fullerton Titans.
Yep. He'll be one of the guys that Fullerton will be expecting to win, so that they can, come away with a team victory.
And in the 165 class, we have Ben Baca will be decided over Sean Sheets. He will be going against Fullerton's Risto Marttinen. In the 174 category, Eddie Gifford against Chris Carlino. That's a rematch of their dual action last Saturday they were competing. We've got in the 184 category, Jatinder Singh taking on Rowdy Lundegreen. 197, Marcio Botelho against Landon Seefeldt. And in the heavyweight division, we've got Clint Walbeck for Fresno State taking on big Edgar Hernandez. And when you measure Edgar Hernandez, I think you're talking about a young man that's big time over 200 pounds.
Yeah, they're both legitimate heavyweights, so.
And we had some interesting notes going into this match. I mean, you're the sponsor of this match. You had to lay down the mat earlier, and you had to straighten those Division I guys out, how to put that mat down.
Yeah, I took a class in that in college, and they obviously haven't had that class yet.
They haven't got there yet, but it's a skill unto itself, and they've got to get involved. Well, the officials are coming out. We're going to announce them to you right now. John Mata will be taking along with Pat Cadwalter, and they'll be the officials tonight in this dual match. I think we're going to start what category? In the 141 class? Is that
149. That's what I've been told, yeah.
Yes, so we'll start with Ricky Palomino taking on Brett Gordon. Ricky Palomino, outstanding wrestler. He is 5'5" out of San Jose, California. He also went at Oklahoma State, and going for the Fullerton Titans will be Brett Gordon, one of the more talented wrestlers for Golden West. I mean, I should say Golden West. You're gonna have to help me get through this. I'm so used to doing Golden West all the time, Coach. Cal State Fullerton, and that's where we're gonna line up. Golden West College is the site and the location for this Division I NC2A match. Both teams have lofty aspirations to try to reach high levels of the Pac-10 for Fullerton, respectively. We'll go into detail on what encompasses the Pac-10 in wrestling. Brett Gordon in the blue, Ricky Palomino for Fresno State in the red, and this first match is underway. Outside official will be John Matta, Pat Cadwalter working inside. Both sides feeling each other out. Looking for some tendencies early on in the match.
Yeah, this will be one of those matches I'll be curious to see how the Fullerton kid does. He's a two-time All-American out of Sacramento City College. So he's another junior college product. Makes a nice single leg shot there.
Also in the equation, Coach, is the travel time. Fresno, not the luxury of a Division I football or basketball program where you're flying over here. They had to take their van. Long 6-7 hour drive, right?
Well, that's not uncommon in wrestling. I mean, they get those vans together and kids are used to that. The problem is that they have to keep their weight down till an hour before competition. That's when they have the official weigh-in.
So you keep them out of those AM PMs as you make your gasoline stops?
Well, they probably stop along the way to pick up things to drink or eat right after the weigh-in. So
it also helps. I'm sure it helps bonding though as well, as far as coming together cohesively as a unit.
Oh yeah. I mean, if you cut weight together, you come together.
First match of the day, 147 category. Ricky Palomino in the red, 149 category against Brett Gordon in the blue for Cal State Fullerton. Both a little bit tentative on both parts in regards to early on.
Oh, I think they're just trying to feel each other out now to see what the other guy has, and right now he's got a front headlock.
Good move by Palomino starting out.
Oh, nice little throw by.
Good counter there, Palomino. Score still 0 of this dual meet. A cumulative total score. Coach, go into the details on it's a cumulative total will decide the team score, correct?
Yeah. What happens is each individual match is an entity within itself, and so you'll see the wrestlers. They'll either win the ultimate, like in boxing, is the fall, like a knockout is in boxing. But in case there's no fall, then there's a scoring system devised to determine who the winner will be. In this case here, if you take a man to the mat, that's what we're into now. He's got a single leg. What the referee's looking now for is a potentially dangerous hold, the twisting knee lock.
Palomino trying to develop that hold. Nice counter by Gordon.
Yep. He tried a little throw by into a leg right. Now it looks like the Fresno kid they're still fighting. Great scramble.
Gordon holding his own on that particular play and pleases the dominant Fullerton crowd.
Yeah, look at here now. They're on the edge of the mat, and this is something referees got to look at. Edge of mat situation where the supporting points of one wrestler must be in bounds.
And the official calls it out, and we will now go back toward the middle with no score. As a result, 21 seconds in round number 1. 3 rounds, Coach.
Yep. 3 rounds. First period in college is 3 minutes. Second, third periods are 2. And in high school, they're all 2-minute periods.
Palomino, the aggressor early on, but Gordon holding his on to keep it scoreless as we wind down with 5 seconds to go in period number 1 of the first 149 class of the match. Fullerton versus Fresno.
No score.
So nobody coming away with any points, but you've got to be impressed right now with Brett Gordon and his ability to escape and get away out of those situations.
Yeah, that was some real scramble ability there, being able to prevent the kid from Palomino from scoring a couple of nice shots, nice penetrations there.
And now we go in, and there's official with the result, and he showed a card there. You want to explain to the audience what that was?
Well, the idea is he has a disc, a red and green disc, and it just one of the wrestlers has choice, and that was predetermined by the coin flip before the match it'll be either odd or even weights to determine who has choice. And the wrestler who has choice can either defer the choice to the other wrestler, which I think is what happened here.
And Weber has been doing something.
He's scoring now. That's
Gordon is doing a great job. Brett Gordon now in a little bit of control, being rooted on by Coach Dan Hicks. 1:30 to go in period number 2.
Got a little turn there. It's called a near fall, and you got 3 points for that. And that's part of that scoring system.
3 points for
Cal State Fullerton.
For Fullerton. They lead early on in the 149 class. Brett Gordon competing against Ricky Palomino. Let's tell you a little bit about Brett Gordon. He's a junior. He's out of Woodland, California. That's right outside Sacramento. And he is a Sacramento CC performer. So another community college athlete doing well. And he's jumped out to 3-0 lead with 1:12 to go in period number 2 of our first match.
Yeah, Dave Pacheco out of Sacramento City. He's an excellent coach, and obviously he's got some kids that are going on to the 4-year level and able to compete at the Division I level.
And with wrestling, I mean, there's an opportunity there for athletes to compete. They just have to work to find the right school within their region to give them that opportunity on the Division I level.
Well, obviously you're trying to match 2 things. One is, obviously the wrestling. If a coach coaches your style of wrestling, and number 2 is obviously the academics. Not too many of these guys are going to go on to professional wrestling, so they're looking for what the school has to offer for them as far as educational goes.
So similar to a wide receiver quarterback who wants to pass and receive the ball, they're not going to go to a running school.
Obviously, yeah, that's a true story.
So Brett Gordon holding his own. He still has a lead. We're now winding down at the end of period number 2 in the 149 weight class. Referee's whistle blows. We'll go back to the center. Gordon with a 3-0 lead.
And it looks like he's accumulating some good riding time too. He's got almost 1 minute and 39 seconds riding time. He rides him out here, that'll be almost 2 minutes riding time.
And that's something he can take advantage of in that last period.
And that's
correct?
something that, the riding time was originally originated to determine matches in case of a draw. It actually evolved into part of a match strategy now, where if you can ride the guy for that minute or more at the end of the match, if you've got a 1 minute or more of what they call top time, advantage time, riding time, and it's exactly 2 minutes at the end of the second period, you get an additional point added onto your score.
So right now then, when you're looking at the score after the second period of this 149-pound match in this first match between Fullerton and Fresno State, Gordon has a big advantage going into this last 2-minute period.
Definitely, and in fact he could not give up riding time. I mean, he's got a point in the bank right now.
So chalk up a point for Gordon.
If he has that minute at the end of the match, that could be a determining factor. Right now he's got a 4-0 lead. He just got an escape worth 1 point.
So slow start for Brett Gordon out of Woodland, California, but he has rebounded and he's controlling match number 1 against his opponent, Ricky Palomino out of San Jose, California, formerly out of Oklahoma State, former Cowboy.
Oh, nice
move,
shot.
Gordon.
Nice shot. Oh, now they get into a little what they call scramble. You see him grab these legs and they'll just flip-flop around, and a lot of times it ultimately winds up to be a stalemate, but he's scooping that leg up and that's a takedown.
2 points.
Right there, yeah.
2
nice
points
move.
for Gordon going in. We're at 1 minute to go in this first match of the night. Cal State Fullerton taking on the Fresno State Bulldogs. Andy Mariani along with Coach Dale Defner, the highly successful coach at Golden West College, and we're glad to bring you this match. We're not at Cal State Fullerton, we're not in Fresno. We are on the campus of Golden West College, having the pleasure to bring you this match. We missed Palomino getting a point, but Gordon's still in control, Coach.
Well, it looks like they're working for a takedown now. He did give the point. Now there's a takedown, so that's an 8-1 lead. Now at the end of the match, back to team scoring. If he winds up the match right now as it is, it's 8-1 on the scoreboard, but the additional point gives him riding time, which is considered a major decision, which gives the team 14 points.
So advantageous to Cal State Fullerton Coach Hicks to try to get as many points as possible right now in the last 32 seconds.
Well, right now, if he just rides him out, he will win by a major decision, and it looks like he's in the act of turning him again. Oh, look at here. Oh.
Look at Brett Gordon once again trying to finish out.
Oh, yeah, he's got a 2-point near fall holding
Palomino.
Now the referee will hold those points until the situation ends. Right now he's got a pinning hold. He could turn him again, and you wouldn't want to give him additional points for the same hold.
7 seconds to go in this third final round of the 149-pound class. First match of the night.
Look at here.
And it goes to Brett Gordon. Convincingly, he wins it 10-1.
Well, with riding time, makes it 11-1, and that is a major decision. 4 points for the home team.
So chalk at 11-1, and they must like your court because they've jumped out to a great start.
Well, it's community college. He's got to feel home at, in the community college.
So something I'm sure that when you're looking at what Coach Hicks wants to accomplish, new to the program from Oregon State, he really didn't have a chance to fully recruit this year, and yet he gets off to a great start. Now we've jumped right into the 157 class. Jim Medeiros taking on Dustin Vance. Fresno in the red. Cal State Fullerton in the blue with Dustin Vance.
Yep. Now, Dustin's originally out of Maple Valley, Washington. That's what I'm seeing here on the bio.
That is correct. And he was second in the Invitational last weekend, so he had a successful weekend. So, and Gordon made the final 11, who you just saw competing and win. So 4-0 overall team score. Cal State Fullerton with the lead over Fresno State. Fullerton in the blue, Fresno in the red. This is match number 2 of our match on the night. We're in the 157-pound category. Jim Medeiros for Fresno in the red. Dustin Vance for Cal State Fullerton in the blue. No score going, and we are about 2 minutes into this first 3-minute period.
Yeah, it looks like Dustin originally came from Washington, but he first went down to Cal State Bakersfield, transferred in from Bakersfield. So
very successful program, and talking to Coach Hicks, he mentioned that unlike Division I football or basketball where you have to redshirt a year or sit out a year, a wrestler can transfer without you losing a year of eligibility. So that has to help, especially when coaches change or maybe people are not getting what they want out of a program.
Exactly, exactly.
No score in this 157-pound category. Jim Medeiros for Fresno for the Bulldogs in the red, and Dustin Vance in the blue for the Titans. 4-0 Fullerton early on. We had the 149 class where Brett Gordon defeated soundly Ricky Palomino 11-1. Stay with us for the course of the match. We're going to also have the 165 category coming up. 174, 184, 197.
Almost. Oh, he gets the takedown. Now, takedown is considered when one opponent, the opponent gets his opponent on the mat and with control. Whether the element is control, and that's a momentary hesitation. In this case here, you can see how quick that call was.
Vance with the move. Vance has that 2-0 lead with 1 minute and 8 seconds to go in the first period. The second period will be a 3-minute period, and the third and final period will go 2 minutes. Fullerton overall leads 4-0. Vance with the 2-0 lead early on in the 157-pound category.
Now you can see strategically, according to the philosophies of the rules, that if you're a takedown artist, in this case here, Vance is pushing the match, and if he continues to get takedowns, he gets 2 points every time he gets a takedown. And obviously that's the reason why in college you'll see them not, in collegiate wrestling, they won't necessarily keep the guy down. They'll give him an escape because they're only giving up 1 point.
So early on, the advantage is going to the young coach versus the coach with the 18 years of experience in Dennis Toledo, and he's compiled a 244, 125, and 5 career record. And he's just sitting there calmly in his chair off to the side, but I guess he's a little bit concerned. Medeiros did get a point just now. He trails as we're winding down period number 1 in the 157 category.
Yeah, I know Dennis Toledo for a long time now, and inside he's boiling. He's boiling.
So he doesn't show those emotions, and especially now with his wrestler trailing 2-1 in the 157-pound category, and his 149-pound category, Palomino, didn't do well, and he was down to feet 11-1. So 4-0 overall, 4 in favor of Fullerton.
Okay, if you look at the Fullerton kid, you notice his starting position. All he has to do is have his knees, hands and knees on each side of the line, not touching. And they've got a novel start here, and that's kind of something new to Southern California wrestling. You don't see too many.
So what's the advantage, Coach, of doing that, or what is the perceived advantage?
From what you just saw here, he had a position. His upper body is already in the upright position, which gives him, when we talk about laws of physics, it gives him some advantage here, using those physics.
And leverage is very essential when you're talking about wrestling, no matter what weight class you're dealing with. More so, especially with the lighter weights, I would think.
Oh, yeah. Well, it applies to all weights, but in this case here, he's already started his sit-out motion, and that's something I talked to Coach Hicks the other day about this, and it's something he feels strongly about in terms of improving the mat wrestling here on the West Coast.
Do you think that's a trend that maybe we can look toward in the future?
Well, I think he's gonna push for that, and I'm already seeing some. You're seeing some results of it right here. Just how easy it was for him to get out from underneath.
3-1 Dustin Vance with 1 minute 9 seconds left in the second period. Fullerton took the 149 category behind the outstanding wrestling of Brett Gordon, who defeated Ricky Palomino 11-1. Overall, Fullerton leads 4-0. And right now they're looking to take another one as with a 3-1 lead with under a minute to go, as Dustin Vance is holding his own. In the blue and the red is Jim Medeiros.
Yeah, he's kind of pushing the match right now. He's taking it to the Fresno kid. It kind of kept him off balance, and you can hear the coach from Fresno. I think he lost his voice about 25 years ago, so when you hear him yelling and screaming, it's more of a horse yell, yeah.
Let's talk about some of the equipment. I mean, what they wear around their ears and their special shoes. They're distinctive to the sport of wrestling.
Yeah, the shoes are just designed. They've got a special rubber that gives them that additional friction on the mat surface itself, non-slipping, and it's tight fitting around the ankle, gives the ankle support. The headgear is something it's required in collegiate wrestling, although outlawed internationally. Internationally, they don't like to see the wrestlers using the headgear is a butting instrument, to
and that's happened, I'm sure, in the past where somebody would maybe take advantage of the gear. I don't know if anybody would sharpen an edge on one of the areas around the ears.
Well, some of them are real abrasive and real hard. Way back in the Stone Age, when I wrestled, the headgear, the cup around the ear was a very hard plastic and was used as a battering ram, and you had to be, you came out of a match, you looked like you're had just been mugged. But nowadays they've got, the gear is just like every sport. The technology in the sport, it's improved so much now. It's a lot more comfortable. It's easier to put on. They snap on, and it is required. If you did not wear them, you get these things, what they call cauliflower ears, which exactly looks like a cauliflower.
Medeiros did get a point, so it's now 3-2.
3-2. He still doesn't ride it very long.
So right now, Dustin Vance with 1:33 to go. Crucial right now where he holds his own. And maybe part of the match has been slipping away. Medeiros is coming on.
Oh, almost. Well, right now, even though it's a 3-2 score, if either of the wrestlers gets a takedown, that could be the winning point. Right now, as long as the Fullerton kid, he's been warned, so he has to stay on the attack, and that's the thing about collegiate wrestling. There's no, we don't allow stalling, passive wrestling. In a lot of sports, that's a part of strategy in some sports, whether it's football, basketball, or whatever. But wrestling, the wrestlers are encouraged, they're forced to wrestle the whole match.
We're under a minute right now. Dustin Vance in the blue for Fullerton with the 3-2 lead. Fullerton leads 4-0 overall in the 157 category. We're now under 40 seconds to go. Both wrestlers trying to come up with a big move to give them this win.
See, right now, if blue keeps blocking, if he blocks the wrestler off and just wrestles defensively, then he could get warned for stalling now. Right now, he's done a lot for his cause by shooting a takedown. You can see him looking at the clock, and as long as he keeps that single, he looks like he's in the offensive position, and right now he could score with this. But
Vance holding in that position, trying to run at the time. We're now down to 12 seconds to go, trying to keep that position. Medeiros trying to look to come up with some kind of move to get him out of this situation.
I lost him out of bounds. 5 seconds on the clock. Catch me if you can.
So pretty much he held his own, got that position, and was able to contain that position for over 20 seconds. It was a good strategic move on his part.
Yeah, to make that shot, and that eliminates the possibility of him being called for stalling. And
sure enough, that is going to make the difference for Dustin Vance. He comes up with a big victory for Cal State Fullerton. He defeats his opponent, Jim Medeiros. Give the match 3-2 in favor of Dustin Vance, and that'll change the score overall.
Oh yeah, now this is that's an interesting start now. Fullerton starts out with a 7-0 lead team-wise. And now we go into this match here. Here's another junior college product. It's Baca from.
Ben Baca, he'll be wrestling for Fullerton against Risto Marttinen. Marttinen in the blue once again. Baca is out of Clovis, California.
And that's a hotbed of high school wrestling in the state of California. Nice little shoulder shrug there, went by. And the takedown.
Two big sports in Clovis, football and wrestling, pretty much, right, Coach?
Yeah, but wrestling, these kids start, they're age groupers. I mean, they're little kid rugrats, I call them, that start when they're younger brothers of kind of thing, and they just grow up in that valley. And high school coach, pretty much, he can look at the age group program and see what kids he's going to coming up to his program, and
so Clovis has like a youth level then. I mean,
definitely.
How early are they starting?
Oh, they could start down as young as 5 years old. I mean, there's an association in the state called CAGWA, California Age Group Wrestling, and they'll have tournaments, easily have tournaments on the weekends of 500 kids that are between the ages of 5 and 14.
Because that's got to be encouraging for the sport, especially in this area. Because when I think of wrestling, being a relative novice to it, I think of Iowa State, schools in the Midwest. But California can hold their own as far as the wrestling programs that they're starting to develop.
Oh, we got one of the largest populations of what they call international wrestling, the freestyle and Greco, that these kids wrestle in the off season. And most of these kids will wrestle the international wrestling in the off season.
Marttinen for Fullerton with a 4-1 lead, or is trailing, I should say. Finally, for the first time tonight, Ben Baca controlling this match for Fresno. He's in charge, 4-1 early on, 1:20 to go in period number 1. Overall, Fullerton leads 7-0 as a team. This is the 165-pound class.
Oh, he's doing that little shrug thing again. It's interesting how a wrestler will not pick up on what's being done to him in a match. In this case here, Baca doing that shrug again.
It's funny, the history of what Fresno State has accomplished out of Toledo. They've been placed at the NCAA championship 17 of 18 years, and they've compiled 12 top 25 finishers. I mean, he has built a strong, reputable program.
Oh yeah. I mean, when you look at the system, the high schools in the area, the feeder system that he has in place there. Every year they're always going to be a contender.
It's got to be an advantage for him where somebody like Hicks, who comes in with the reputation but from a different part of the West Coast, trying to establish what he wants to accomplish here at Fullerton as a Titan.
Oh yeah, as I said earlier, I mean, just the enthusiasm I've seen in the program with what they've started already. It'll be on the rise. I'm seeing some exciting things.
So you're going to be a feeder to give them some of your fine athletes?
Well, I'd like to believe that they rise to the occasion and can make that next step up, just like my kids have to do coming up out of high school.
Ben Baca with the lead. He leads 6-2 over Risto Marttinen. Martin, we haven't told you much about Marttinen. He is a sophomore local kid out of Laguna Niguel, Dana Hill's Dolphin. Yeah, he's been wrestling, so he is a CIF Southern Section competitor, and that wraps up the first period of the 165-pound class. And so far, Coach, been all Ben Baca, 6'2".
Yeah, he's an accomplished wrestler, and right now, unless he fades physically, I think we'll see him continue to dominate this match.
And here's a sitting position once again we talked about in the last match. 6'2", Baca in the red, in control of the match, under 2 minutes to go in period number 2.
Baca has that reach, doesn't he?
He sure does. He's taking advantage of it.
Look at here. Fullerton kid's coming around. But there's really no break in control yet, so you see the referee holding his hand out. He's demonstrating who has control in this situation.
That's referee John Mata with that call.
You see, look how the length of Baca, he just pulls him around into what he's working for a near cradle now. And it looks like the Fullerton kid comes with his own reversal.
Nice counter there.
Yeah, he just stayed with it, was real persistent. And like I say, unless Baca starts fading physically.
Couple points there for Marttinen, so that narrows the margin. It's now 6-4 in favor of Ben Baca for Fresno. 7-0 overall. Fullerton in the blue with the lead over Fresno State in the red.
stand-up action there. And he goes out of bounds.
And we'll start once again. 47 seconds remaining in period number 2 of the 165-pound class. We have coming up a rematch of the Invitational from a week ago for Fresno, Eddie Gifford versus Chris Carlino, and that should be an interesting match. 45 seconds remaining in period number 2 of the 165-pound class.
And this second period. So Baca had a minute and a half riding time, and it looks like the Fuller. Oh, we got a reversal. Got a little over anxious on his leg ride, his bar half there, and that Baca was able to turn the tables on him.
Took advantage of that, so Baca now leads 8-4 with 20 seconds remaining in this second period. And was that a case, maybe, Coach, of Marttinen just trying to make a move in a great counter by Baca?
Yeah, well, I think it was more of a, he got a little too high on his ride, and he tried to, he's trying to turn the guy. I mean, obviously he's trying to get some bonus points with the putting him on his back, but
that will end period number 2. So it's 8-4 in favor of Ben Baca, and he's in control with 1 period to go in the 165-pound class. Fullerton leads overall as a team 7-0.
And given the choice, Baca chooses down. He's up 9-4. And all he's got to do is just keep from getting turned.
And so in a position like Marttinen is right now, what's his alternatives?
To try to put him on his back, and he's struggling. He's pushing for it. They both pretty much have the same hold right now.
So essentially, he's looking for the pin to end a match. Well, if he can accomplish it.
Well, he's got to get some. He's got to get some bonus points to even win by a decision. Obviously, if he could pin him, that would be the ultimate. But
Baca came up with additional 2 on that move there, so he's up 10-4.
Yep.
So the first match for Fullerton, they might gain in the 165-pound class. They lost earlier, the 149. Brett Gordon of Fullerton defeated Palomino of Fresno, and in the 157 class, Dustin Vance with a 3-1 win over Jim Medeiros.
So Baca was comfortable by just turning him loose and giving him the escape point, knowing the fact that he didn't want to try to ride him and take a chance on the Fullerton kid reversing him or possibly reversing him to his back and tying the match up.
We're now under 1 minute to go in this 165-pound class. Ben Baca in the red, in control. He leads 10-5, while his team, Fresno State Bulldogs, trail overall 7-0. Nice move there by Baca once again.
Counter, yeah, nice little counter. He's got that length, and that's one of his strengths, that he can drop off to the side there and oftentimes pull the guy into a leg ride, or in this case here, just fight for a takedown.
Marttinen was able to get out of it the last time this move was made by Baca, but I think he's got a little bit more control this time around.
Yep, there he comes around. He gets his takedown.
So 2 more points to Ben Baca. He is dominating this match. It was a decision between Sean Sheets and Ben Baca for Coach Dennis DeLito. He made the right choice with 5 seconds to go in the final match. Ben Baca trying to wrap it up decisively if he hasn't done so already. 12-5, Ben Baca with the win.
And now also with the riding time now makes that 13-5, and now we have a major decision going the other way in favor of Fresno.
So that was a big victory for the Bulldogs, possibly swinging this match.
Well, right now Fullerton's still in the driver's seat, but like you say, we've got some feature matches coming up.
And the big one coming up, 174, Eddie Gifford versus Chris Carlino. They met against each other in the regionals. Eddie Gifford was the winner in that regional last weekend. It was the Cal State Fullerton Open. It was an invitational. And on those invitationals, they start early, Coach, 9 a.m. How do you get yourself ready? What time are you up usually around there?
Well, the problem with that, for those tournaments, you have to weigh in 2 hours before the competition. So that means you got to be up like at 6 o'clock at least to get to the weigh-ins by 7.
So if somebody needs to watch their weight, are you suggesting in that particular instance skip breakfast? How do you regulate that?
I think that goes without saying. I mean, the kids usually know what they weigh the night before and what they have to do the next morning to make weight. And if in doubt, obviously they would have to get up a little bit earlier so they could get to the weigh-in site and check their weight and do what they have to do to make the weight.
You have kids where they go out there and start running a mile or 2 out there and find out what's going on?
I think 2 is probably pretty
strenuous.
Well, it's probably a lot more than 2 miles.
7-4 now with the score, with that win by Baca.
Nice shot. Oh, a little spin around move. Now they're both fighting for position here. The one kid's trying to hang on the ankle, the other kid's trying to come around.
Nice counter.
Nice little scramble. And he gives him the takedown. Oh.
Big takedown credited to Eddie Gifford, the winner of the match a week ago. Carlino looking for redemption. This could be a turning point type match. Cal State Fullerton in the blue taking on Fresno State.
Okay, here's a situation now where the coach is questioning whether or not the wrestler had control on the mat, and that's what his point of question right now, and he's getting the explanation from the official.
So Dan Hicks is getting the information, the 911 from Pat Cadwalter, and giving him that information, so they're going to start back. The 2 points still are credited to Eddie Gifford. And Gifford continues.
Oh, nice little move.
His early
look at this.
Carlino with the counter.
Yeah, nice move. We got a little scrap going here. And he kicks free.
They probably remember themselves just from a couple days ago, so there's a little bit of incentive there. It's now 3-2 Gifford, Eddie Gifford for Fresno in the red over Chris Carlino.
Yeah, that shows a little character on the Fullerton kid in terms of not just stopping and quitting just because he lost the call on the takedown.
Gifford with the lead, 3-2 over Carlino. Carlino desperately, and he's going off the mat, but he is trying to stay aggressive. 1:45 to go in period number 1 of this 174 weight class. We'll have the 184, 197 heavyweight coming up soon to fall.
One of the things I've noticed on the Fullerton kids' part is just the increased aggressiveness of the wrestlers. Obviously, that's something that Coach Hicks is instilling in his wrestlers, is stay on the attack and use the physical part of a match as a point of strategy to wear your opponent down. And
maybe he just wasn't doing that enough in the match on Saturday, and maybe that could make that edge or make that difference in the match today.
Well, obviously, you'd like to believe that you're going to get in better shape as the season goes along. And so in this case here, maybe the match on Saturday was a confidence builder for the Fullerton kid to know that he can compete at this level against this opponent.
And unlike your season, which is now coming to an end, they're starting theirs off, which will eventually conclude with NCAA tournaments into late March. So different schedule, but yet you're right. You're trying to build a program to gear yourself geared up to when it's a tournament time.
Well, no matter what kind of sport you're in, obviously you're thinking that your training and conditioning through a season is going to prepare you for the championship event. That's what it's all about.
Still 3-2.
Oh, nice little redrag. Okay, almost.
Carlino trailing. Carlino in the blue. He is trailing his rival, Eddie Gifford, out of Las Vegas. Gifford, he's a senior out of Las Vegas High School. Carlino is a senior as well. He's out of New Jersey, Abascon, New Jersey, by way of Cal State Bakersfield. So he's another Bakersfield transfer.
Yeah. New Jersey is one of the hotbeds of high school wrestling in the country. I would put California, Ohio, and New Jersey as being probably the top 3 states high school-wise. Obviously, Iowa and Oklahoma would be right up in there.
Sure, but, absolutely. 7-4 team-wise, 3-2 with the lead for Eddie Gifford.
Okay, it looks like it was Fresno's choice. He chose to defer. His choice was defer. The Fullerton kid looking at his starting position on the mat again. He's pretty much now this is a decision by the Fresno kid not to stay on the mat, wrestle him, and just go ahead and cut him and go for the takedown.
So that was his option in that lineup, the way they were set themselves up.
Yep.
And he took advantage of that, Gifford. Nice move by Carlino, is trying to work the leg.
There may have been something in their previous match to suggest that maybe the Fresno kid just didn't want to expend the energy to try to, ride him. So he chose to just cut him. And now the score is 3-3.
3-all. Gifford lost his chin strap, so they're going to have to readjust that, make sure that's right. And Carlino in this match with 1:39 to go in period number 2. One more 2-minute period. 3-3 in the 174 class. 7-4 overall in favor of Fullerton.
Yeah, Carlino seems to be, staying in the guy's face and pushing the match.
Is there a period of adjustment, Coach, where an athlete comes from another program and now he's working for another coach? I mean, how much of a time frame does that get involved to Maybe in Carlino's case it isn't because he's a senior, so he has wrestling experience. But I got to imagine it still takes a little bit of adjustment to get used to what the coach wants to accomplish overall, team-wise and team concept-wise.
Well, I think when you talk about individual wrestling philosophy, Coach Hicks comes in with a different kind of philosophy than maybe what Carlino was used to from his previous coaches. Obviously, anytime you go from one coach to another, there are some of those differences as far as, oh, nice shot.
Carlino holding his own as they go off the match. It's still tied at 3 with 1:05 to go in period number 2. 7-4 in favor of Fullerton, and we have a timeout.
Yeah, for that, you're talking about, looks like we have bleeding time.
And that's an important element now that's been brought into wrestling, especially when you're dealing with issues such as HIV. The precautions now and in the level of controlling that is very important.
Oh yeah, that's always a safety concern for not only the individual athlete but his opponent and everybody that's on the mat.
And they take the ultimate precautions nowadays collegiately to ensure the athlete's safety. And that's why you were talking about this equipment, and the equipment is checked out before the match by the officials. The mats are referred to by the officials. So they're going to make sure absolutely that Gifford is ready to go and ready to continue.
Yep. Yeah. They're trying to control the bleeding now. A lot of times you get those little surface cuts that just seem to keep oozing and keep bleeding. So
this opportunity then maybe Carlino can regroup. We're watching him talking to Coach Hicks, trying to get himself together. He knows he's in this match, and where he had a second place finish a couple days ago, he has a shot at redemption right now.
Well, right now it's not to Carlino's advantage if he thinks he's physically more in front of the Fresno kid, because at the same time he's bleeding, he's getting recovery. So maybe this is just kind of a rest time for the Fresno kid if he's being threatened that way.
Well, how about in the case of like a boxer would work that eye? Would a wrestler go to that area more extensively?
Nah.
It doesn't make that much of a difference.
Nah, we're not looking for Rocky to show up and
or Mr. T.
Yeah.
3-3, 7-4 overall in favor of Fullerton. 3-3 in this match, 174-pound category. Eddie Gifford versus Chris Carlino. Carlino in the blue, Gifford in the red. It's Division I wrestling here at Golden West College on the Huntington Beach.
Looks like we got a little bit more blood.
So we're going to have to get that rectified and get that taken care of.
Yeah.
And it's an issue that has to be resolved and taken care of with 23 seconds to go in period number 2.
Yeah, it's really nothing you can do anything about. I mean, if you're bleeding, and that's something obviously everybody's concerned about that. So they have to address that, take care of it.
Assistant coaches will give credit where credit is due. We've got the Albert brothers, I believe it is, that are Abbas brothers. They were both successful wrestlers. One of them in particular, Gary Abbas. He was 7 years on this coaching staff, and he competed in what is referred to as the new era of Fresno State wrestling. I guess Delito's previous era was the old era, and he's been very successful in that. And where coaches developed 11 All-American wrestlers. Abbas, his records abound throughout their record book.
Oh yeah.
So he's textbook, and he's taken what he's learned from the head man and applied it to some of these younger wrestlers.
Yep. I mean, he's an excellent technician. Obviously, the Abbas family, the Abbas brothers, they brought a new element of wrestling to the Fresno program, and obviously Coach Delito has capitalized on that.
Legendary in that San Joaquin Valley, besides that Thule fog that we get in Fresno. But that's a growing community when you think in terms of how big Fresno has gone and grown as a community, say, in the last 20 to 25 years.
Oh, yeah. Well, Fresno's always been one of the hotbeds of high school wrestling. That Central Valley, I mean, Fresno, Bakersfield, Sacramento, there's some strong wrestling up and down that valley.
Once again, we are dealing with a blood issue on the part of the wrestler Eddie Gifford for Fresno State. It's still not controlled. The medical staff trying to take care of it. We're down to 2 seconds to go in period number 2. Now, would there ever be a possibility that he would have to forfeit or relinquish?
Unless there was a definite injury where he had to go get stitches or something like that, where he'd have to default the match. And I've seen wrestlers, even when they've got a split eyebrow or something, that they'll tape them up to be able to finish the bout, But unless it was something extreme like that, where they'd have, I've had wrestlers where it was just too much to try to control for that moment, and we had to take him, to get him stitched up. But,
and I'm sure as a coach, when you're dealing with a dual meet such as this, you do not want to at all costs relinquish the opportunity, but yet you have to consider the safety of the athlete at the same time.
Oh yeah, in this match here, for example, we got a case here where the match is tied 3-3. They're going in the last period. Fullerton kid has choice. There's 2 seconds left in this period. So obviously, the match being as close as it is, you don't want to, because if he were to default the match, that's equivalent to a fall. And a fall is 16 points versus just a 3-point for a decision.
And your lead can expand as a result of that. We're watching now Gifford looking under that and under the watchful eye of official Pat Cadwalder, trying to get himself rectified, found out, I'm sure, I don't know if it's iodine or whatever they're going to use on there. It's a little bit stinging effect.
Looks like he's got a little perspiration dropping off his chin there.
And right around the bridge of the nose, I think, is where the problem is pretty much caused.
They probably collided somewhere earlier in the match and caused an abrasion there on the face. And like I say, sometimes those abrasions are just that. They're just
they're going to linger. You seconds go by, and they're going to be ready to go once again. And we're still tied at 3.
Oh, okay. Now it looks like the Fresno kid has choice. Third period, he chooses down. And the Fullerton kid looks like he's going to try to ride him.
So Carlino on top. Gifford with that cut or abrasion. Lock their move. Gifford
that's kind of a technique that you. One of the things in collegiate wrestling is you cannot lock your hands when you're on the mat. When you're in control, you cannot lock your hands, all right, around the waist. In this case here, the kid came up, kid from Fullerton locked his hands, obviously, to try to keep control of him, and then the Fresno kid went back to the mat to force him to unlock the hands, and that's a point of strategy there to break the hands and break the grip so he can come back to his feet and get the escape.
And with Gifford's situation currently, that puts him in an advantageous position right now with the lead.
Oh yeah, now he's got a little over a minute now just to maintain that 1-point lead, and a lot of times for him to just stay in there, stay in a good stance, not to stall, but to not really commit himself to a takedown and jeopardize the chance of being taken down himself. All he's got to do is just defend himself here. Looks like we got a
Carlino working in. Gifford thought he had the match. We're under a minute to go. Eddie Gifford trying to make it 2 in a row over Chris Carlino. Gifford with the red.
Out of bounds. That left foot went touched outside the line. Therefore, there was no control on the mat.
44 seconds to go. Eddie Gifford with the lead.
And
it's
we're bleeding
4-3 and blood once again on the mat. So a little break. So Gifford now in the advantageous position. Carlino trying to make a move that'll put him over the top.
I wonder if the Red Cross has his blood type.
We're gonna have to
he
check
bleeding.
But you can see the medical staff working profusely on that bridge of that nose. And like you said, Coach, it's just a abrasion that just continues to last. They're going to try to put a Band-Aid on top, one of those button-type Band-Aids, to at least hold him off for the next 44 seconds.
And that's a hope and a dream by the trainer to believe that Band-Aid's going to stay on there.
He'll probably come off as soon as they go back onto the mat.
It sure isn't Rocky's cut, man.
No, Mickey. There was only one Mickey, Coach. That's right. Grease lightning. That's what Mickey used to say. The late, great Burgess Meredith. That's right.
There you go.
And there aren't that many, because I think that's sort of a lost art now, is with the styptic pencil and things like that. They're taught differently now, those medical crews.
Well, it's interesting, some of the things that they use now. Again, the technology in sport in general is... I'm sure there's been a lot of advances in athletic training at the same time.
Yeah, but the old styptic pencil still works on that razor cut. We're now down to 30 seconds.
Yeah.
7-4. Overall, as a team-wise, Fullerton's still with the lead, but that could swing now. Nice move by Carlino.
Maybe.
Working on Gifford.
He hooked the leg.
We'll see if he gets the call.
We got 15 seconds.
We'll see if Carlino gets the call. He's working on Gifford. It's 4-3 in favor of Gifford. We're now down to 6 seconds. And we got 2 points for Carlino. Carlino has taken the lead. Carlino wins. What a comeback by Chris Carlino.
Exciting. Look at here.
Overcame the delay and the stall tactics, and Chris Carlino redeems himself from a loss a couple days ago. He counters and comes up with a last-minute victory over Eddie Gifford.
Oh, that was electrifying to see him come back with that short amount of time left in the period. All the Gifford had to do was just to try to hang on and prevent the other wrestler from making that kind of penetration. And
a crucial time, because now that gives the Fullerton Titans a 10-4 lead as we go into the 184 match. Jatinder Singh versus Rowdy Lundegreen.
And Rowdy is one of those guys, again, another transfer from Oklahoma. And he's one of those impact wrestlers right away.
Singh, he is not related to another Sandeep Singh, who's a 6'1" heavyweight freshman out of Union City. This Singh, Jatinder, is out of Silver Creek High School.
This is called a draping scissor. If he had just the head, it would be an illegal hold. If he scissored the head, but since he has the arm included, then it's called a draping scissors, and it just led to a stalemate situation. Stalemate being when neither wrestler can nor wants to improve his position, then they have what they call a stalemate. They restart them.
Lundegreen out of Amarillo, Texas, one of my favorite towns off that old I-10.
Okay.
That's a way station stop if you're doing a long distance haul, I know that. And he is out of Oklahoma, like you said, former Sooner.
Yep.
We're still scoreless in this 184 class. Overall, Fullerton in the blue with the lead over Fresno in the red, 10-4. Rowdy, a nice name and a perfect name for a wrestler. Rowdy
takedown.
Lundegreen with the takedown. He will gain some points there. He's up 2-0. So Coach Fullerton in control after their last win.
Yeah, they got 3 wins now. It's a 10-4 lead on the team score. And Lundegreen here in a 2-0 lead here. Gave up an escape here, but like I say, he's willing to do that because he can take him down. There
nice
you go.
Move there by Lundegreen again, so he's controlling this match completely.
He's got a 4-1 lead now with 2 takedowns to 1 escape.
He is soundly
cradle.
beating his opponent, Jatinder.
Cradle. This is a pinning hold. If he can break him over, if he can break him down, he's got his hands locked between his head and his knee, and that really takes a lot of the power and strength away from a stronger wrestler by being able to keep him pinched up like that.
Lundegreen trying to finish off the match. He's up 4-1 in round number 1, or period number 1. 10-4 in favor of Fullerton. They're coming on strong in this first duel. This might be their second home, Coach, the way they're playing on the campus of Golden West College, Division I. Wrestling at its finest. Fresno State in the red, take it on Cal State Fullerton. Fullerton with the 10-4 lead. And we are now in the 184 class.
Look at here. Okay, another escape. Now he's going to pinch it up.
Singh, a little counter there, trying to get back. He gains a couple points. We're now even at 4. Nice couple moves there by Jatinder Singh over Rowdy Lundegreen. We're even at 4.
And with 20 seconds left in the period, he comes around.
Nice counter move by Lundegreen.
Escape.
Now escape.
5-4.
5-4, Lundegreen retains the lead. We're now under 10 seconds to go in period number 1 in the 184 class. Rowdy Lundegreen versus Jatinder Singh. And that'll end the first period. 5-4, Lundegreen with the lead. It looked like Lundegreen all early on, but Singh made a nice little comeback.
Yeah, he made a little strategic error there and kind of relaxed, and Singh was able to come back, capitalize, get the takedown, tie it up, but Lundegreen came out with an escape. And he's got 37 seconds riding time, so that's really not a factor right now, but could play a part later on.
We're under 2 minutes to go in period number 2 of the 184 class. Give you an update on what's happened so far. It's been pretty much all Fullerton. Brett Gordon took the 149 class 11-1 score. Dustin Vance over Jim Medeiros in the 157 by a 3-1 score. Big win for Risto Marttinen, but he went down to feet, I should say. He lost to Baca 13-3, and then the big win by Chris Carlino 5-4.
Nice double leg takedown.
So Rowdy Lundegreen taking control. He now has a 7-4 lead with less than 1 minute and 20 to go in this second period. Fullerton leads overall 10-4.
I have to give you a little background here. I was at the NCAAs last year when Rowdy upset the #1 seed for the tournament, the first round of the tournament. I tell you what, the stadium was silent. I mean, it was just a major upset. Anytime you upset the #1 seed in the NCAA championships.
Well, wrestling to that level, when it's, you think someone's favored and they have a reputation, to see somebody come up and defeat them and create some waves in the industry, correct?
Boy, he likes these cradles. Look at here. We got a pin hold.
Look at that move, Lundgren.
He settles. That
He's
could be it. Yes.
Rowdy Lundgren comes up with the pin. Rowdy Lundgren showing his dominance early on, and then a little lull, but he pulled it over Jatinder Singh with the victory. Give the pin and the points to Rowdy Lundgren and Cal State Fullerton.
16 points for Fullerton. That brings the team score now to 16-4.
That puts Fullerton in a very strong position to roll in and take this match. We now are to the 197 category. Landon Seefeldt taking on Marcio Botelho. 197 category, Fullerton up 16-4. We still got the heavyweights, the 125-pound category, the 133, the 141. So Fullerton looking strong. Andy Mariani along with Coach Dale Defner at Golden West College on the campus of Golden West College in Huntington Beach. Division I wrestling action. Fullerton in the blue taking on Fresno in the red.
Got a little penetration there by the Fresno kid just to try to get a takedown there on the edge of the mat.
And this can be a long drive home for Coach Dennis Toledo and the Abbas family. Probably not performing the way that they wanted them early on.
Well, right now, but wrestling is a team sport, and it's not over till it's over. And
I'm sure you've seen in many a situation where you're trailing to this point going into the last 4 or 5 matches, and you can just completely turn it around.
Yep. I mean, I'm sure there's a couple of kids from Fresno here that are still expected to come through here.
And we're looking forward to your former wrestler, Brandon Gushiken.
Yeah, Brandon, he's fun to watch.
He's a spark plug. We covered him many a match here, but we are watching. Look at that move by Seefeldt. Seefeldt creating Botelho and spinning him around.
Looks like he's trying to get the takedown here. Good scramble. No control. He's fighting the single leg here. He's got his hand and he broke free.
Great move by Seefeldt, getting out of that potential dangerous position. Seefeldt out of Modesto. A little bit of rivalry here, Coach. Seefeldt performed at Fresno a year ago, so I'm sure that there's incentive on his part to perform well in front of his old coach.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
So Seefeldt continuing. He'll compete. We're still scoreless in this 197-pound category. Marco Botelho, he is 5'11", 197. He is out of Lenmore, California, Lenmore High School, another Northern California school. We are scoreless in period number 1 of the 197-pound class. It's been all Fullerton up until this point. They lead 16-4 overall as a team. Fullerton trying to establish a new program out of their new coach, Dan Hicks, formerly out of Oregon State, outstanding wrestler for the Oregon State Beavers. Fullerton is in the Pac-10, not your normal Pac-10 football, basketball Pac-10. The only schools that are similar in the Pac-10 with Fullerton. They compete with Oregon State, Stanford, Arizona State. And you have Fullerton and then the other schools like Bakersfield, Cal Poly, San Luis Obispo, UC Davis, Boise State.
Yep.
And
some nice penetrations there.
So now we're going back to the center of the mat. 17 seconds go in period number 1 of the 197-pound class. We're still scoreless.
Yeah, nice little exchanges back and forth. A lot of action here for these big boys.
But not enough points, but that can come later. And we are wrapping up period number 1, 16-4. Fullerton overall. We are watching right now Marcio Botelho taking on Landon Seefeldt of Fullerton.
Okay, Fresno kid, he had choice and he chose to take down rather than defer. Obviously he's thinking that now he's fresh going into the second period, wants to try to get his escape early.
Under 2 minutes, second and third period, 2 minutes in duration.
And he got his escape.
And we still remain scoreless.
Well, it's 1-0 on the score.
We'll credit the
just
point
got the
for
escape.
Botelho. He just
Yep.
got the escape, so he gets credit with the point.
Oh, look at this. A lot of action for these big guys.
So Botelho with the lead.
Look at here.
Off the mat.
Tried a little inside trip there and almost had it taken away from him.
Looking at wrestling as a growth, you've seen it grow. I mean, what's the future? Where is it going? Athletes are getting more skilled technically, and where's the potential of where wrestling can be in the next 10 years?
That's kind of where I see it right now. There's so much wrestling in the age group. We talked about that earlier. Those age group wrestlers moving up into the high school ranks, and we're seeing high schools in California. You know, it's the top one of the top sports in the state. In terms of numbers, just raw numbers that are coming out. What we see now is those, there's some things that are being affected in sports in general, where the sport is being threatened at the division, at the collegiate level, and there's some issues there that.
I think of sponsorship, and we were dealing with just trying to generate a team and generate enough interest. I think even the interest is there, but just getting the initiative of the schools to take an effort of saying, you know, these athletes have competed all these years, they should have an opportunity to extend their careers.
Well, that's what we're saying is right now is, you know, this is a chosen sport by these athletes. It's not for everybody, nor is it intended to be, but it happens to be one of those combative art forms that, you know, we like to think it is the original martial art. It is one of the original Olympic sports, so it's been around a few years.
It will continue to be around in the Olympic events because the popularity of wrestling throughout the world continues to grow as well.
Oh yeah, so much so now that it's even included women wrestling. It's been inaugurated into the Olympics now, this next Olympic.
And with the competition and what we've seen in the last few years, I mean, the Rulon Gardners of the world and what he accomplished, whether it be Greco-Roman or traditional, I mean, that just can add nothing but volumes to the interest of where wrestling is now and can be in the future.
Oh, huge! That was a huge win for you know, American wrestling, especially in the Greco-Roman style. That's not our chosen form. Greco-Roman is really different compared to our collegiate wrestling. And one of the reasons why we've always excelled in freestyle in the Olympics is because it's closely associated with our own collegiate wrestling.
Absolutely, but yet there's a form that is popular throughout the world, and yet we can still now take some of our athletes and go in that direction. 16-4 overall, Fullerton with the lead. We're now under 2 minutes in the third and final period of the 197-pound category.
And it's all tied up.
1-1, Marcio Botelho in the red for Fresno.
Oh, here we go. Nice
Landon
penetration.
Seefeldt,
Got that single leg.
Bulldog trying to come away with the win right in front of his former coach.
Gotta come up.
Seefeldt right in front of Coach DeLito.
Look at here. Oh, nice.
We're still tied at 1. Last
Nice
period
counter.
in the 197-pound category, we're still even at 1. This is a big incentive match for Landon Seefeldt, former Bulldog, taking on Marcio Botelho. We're tied at 1. Fullerton in control of this match overall.
Inside of a minute.
16-4 Fullerton. This match tied at 1. We have the heavyweight division, the 125, the 133, and the 141 remaining. Botelho trying to work some magic.
Nothing yet.
On Seefeldt. He's got his leg up over him. On the shoulder.
Nothing yet.
Botelho trying to work it.
There it is.
He got the 2 points, and that could be the difference, and that could spell the demise of Landon Seefeldt. 3-1 for Botelho. We're now down to 28 seconds to go, and tactically, once that leg got lifted up there, Botelho had the edge.
He was in trouble, yeah. But that would have been a huge turnaround in the, match for Fullerton as far as a team victory here.
It'll put a damper on what Fullerton wants to accomplish. They are trailing 3-1. They lead 16-4 overall. Botelho will be on top of Seefeldt.
He got the escape. 20
So
seconds.
1 point to Seefeldt. He's got 20 seconds to do something. He trails 3-2. Seefeldt in the blue. Botelho in the red. Seefeldt, a former Bulldog, trying to come up with something.
Uh-oh. Now we're in
Looking
trouble.
for a move, but Botelho's got
Yeah,
control.
now we're in
6
trouble.
seconds to go. Let's see if he gets a takedown. Seefeldt now trying to stay away from
Oh!
the pin. So reversal of fortune for Fullerton, and it could backfire on them, where Seefeldt wanted to take the match, and as a result ends up getting pinned on a fine effort by Botelho.
With 2 seconds left in the match. That had to be a huge defeat for, you can see the disappointment in the Fullerton kids.
We're going to take a look at the previous takedown on one of the earlier matches. That was a crucial takedown for Botelho. This was, take a look at that earlier on
That's
action.
that fall. That's the fall where the Fullerton kid, Lundegreen, won the fall there.
And things were going well for Landon Seefeldt at that time, but it changed in a matter of moments toward the end. And now the big men are here, the heavyweights. We've got Clint Walbeck for the Fresno State Bulldogs and Edgar Hernandez for the Fullerton Titans.
Yeah, interesting sidelight here. This is a weight where our heavyweight champion from Golden West College, Chase Gormley, wrestled both of these wrestlers in the Cal State Fullerton Open.
And how did he do?
Well, he lost to the Fresno kid 3-2, and he beat the Fullerton kid. So if we went by comparable opponents, we'd give the edge to the Fresno guy. And in this case here, he just got the takedown.
A little bit of active part on Walbeck. Even though he's 5'10", he's 255. He was showing some nice moves right there.
Yep, he's got some good agility for a big man. That was one of the things that impressed me when he wrestled our heavyweight.
Chase, yeah. And Chase, you know, after a successful year, 1 season ago, where he won the state title in community college, and how are things shaping up for him coming into this season as we go down the stretch? Is he going to be one of your contenders in a couple weeks, in which the broadcast will be there for once again?
Yep,
at Cypress.
That's where we're at, and he's got his common opponent that he had last year in the state finals, so it'll be a rematch of that. In fact, they've wrestled twice this year, and they're 1-1 against each other, so it's going to be
something to look forward to as we approach that December 14th, and we'll be bringing you the state finals, community college wrestling finals from Cypress College. We'll be there with most of the final matches and bring you all the action. And this action, it's 16-10 team-wise. Fullerton with the lead. The heavyweights are going at it right now. Clint Walbeck, he's ahead 2-0 over his opponent. His opponent is Edgar Hernandez.
Yeah, you can see he's real active with that inside armbar there, and that's one of the popular moves by the big guys.
Hernandez's first year varsity. He's out of San Jose, California. West Valley, another community college wrestler. West Valley JC.
Yep, that was Coach Jim Root out of West Valley, longtime coach.
And now Walbeck trying to get a handle on this. He's up 2-0 already. We're under 45 seconds to go in period number 1 of the heavyweight match. Cal State Fullerton with the lead, 16-10. They're in the blue. Fresno State Bulldogs in the red. And this match is at Golden West College in Huntington Beach. Andy Mariani with Coach Dale Defner, a highly successful coach. I don't want to say long time, or can I say long time coach at,
Let's say veteran.
at Golden West? Veteran.
Let's just say veteran coach.
More pronounced than the successful veteran coach at Golden West College. 16-10, we're under 15 seconds to go in the heavyweight match. Walbeck in control.
Yeah, it looks like we're inside 10 seconds, and he's already accumulated over 2 minutes riding time.
And more often than not, in my observations of the heavyweights, a point.
Just got a warning for stalling. Must have been a second warning. They get one free warning, that just alerts you that you're not active enough. He should, in this case here, it's tough when you're wrestling a big man like that he's got all his weight on you to try to continue to try to build a base and get back up to your knees.
So a gimme point for Walbeck, so that gives him control of this match as we go in the final 2 2-minute periods, and we just get that underway. Walbeck with a 3-0 lead. We're 16-10 overall as team-wise, so this is a big match for Fresno to get back in this match.
Oh, nice. Look at that agility. That's pretty good agility for a big kid, isn't it?
Nice movement. Maybe the Fresno coaches football staff will take a look at that. They've had some successful football program the last couple of years. David Carr, the #1 draft choice quarterback of the Houston Texans, was taken. He's out of Fresno. Jim Sweeney, many a year successful football coach there. Wrestling's also been a forte for Fresno State. 5-0 now. No, I stand corrected. It's 6-0, I believe.
Yeah, it would be 6-0 if we add the additional point for riding time.
Complete control right now of heavyweight Fresno wrestler Chris Walbeck.
So I'm sure his intention, you can see he's trying to work for a chicken, what we call a chicken wing here. And the Fullerton kid's countering pretty well. But if he sets that arm.
Now, in dealing with that chicken wing, where are you going to develop leverage right now? Where does he want to control?
He's trying to get put this on his back and get his left arm right there. See how he's got it hooked? Now he's going to rotate around the head. He's got him on his back. And that's front headlock situation.
Looking for a pin. Walbeck trying to finish off Edgar Hernandez.
Yeah, he'd be hard pressed to get out of this.
43 seconds to go. Let's see if Hernandez can try to escape this move by Walbeck.
Oh, excellent.
Nice move by Hernandez. Key move in getting out of it.
Yep, that was monumental effort, considering the amount of weight and pressure and the leverage and everything that was going on there.
Nice move by Hernandez, just escaping that. A little bit on the lighter side compared to Walbeck, the red-clad, tattooed-clad Fresno Bulldog. Once again, Walbeck trying to finish Hernandez off. Hernandez holding on with 8 seconds to go. See if Hernandez can stand off Walbeck. Walbeck trying to finish off the second period. It doesn't look like he's going to do it, but it is 9-0 in favor of Chris Walbeck.
Now this would be, strategically he doesn't want to go down. We're talking about Hernandez. He didn't want to go down and give the Fresno kid a chance to try to turn him again. So he chose to stay on his feet. So he's thinking right now that he can defend himself and possibly even get a takedown better off his feet than he can be trying to wrestle him down on the mat.
We are now under 2 minutes to go. 1:43 to be exact. 16-10. Overall, team-wise, Fullerton in the blue with the lead. But in the heavyweight match that you're watching right now, Clint Walbeck completely in control, 9-0 over Edgar Hernandez.
See, this could be one of those matches when you look at dual meet strategy. Even though you might not be in a position to defeat your opponent, you can still win for your team if you save team points. In other words, you didn't beat the guy, but you didn't get pinned and you didn't get teched and you didn't get majored. In this case here, if the match ends like this, it would be just a major decision, which would be only 4 team points for Fresno.
And that can make a difference as you're looking toward the last couple matches strategically as well.
Well, case in point right now, if the Fresno kid were to win by fall here, that would tie the team score. As it is, if the match finishes as is, the Fresno kid would get 4 team points, which would make the team score 16-14, still in favor of Fullerton.
We just watched Coach Dennis Toledo, and he still has the same pose that he had when we started this match early on. So.
Oh, he's a ball of fire. He's just excited.
So he's churning inside. Is that what you're trying to tell me? With 30 seconds to go, his wrestler in complete control. I think he wants his wrestler to get a pin. But when you're looking at Dan Hicks and what he's trying to accomplish, survival is the key here for Edgar Hernandez in the heavyweight division wearing the blue.
Well, one thing about the big guys, they got to expend a lot of energy.
Hernandez coming out a little hard to Walbeck, trying to take it to him to keep him away so he can't get that pin.
Yep. Right now, the Fresno kid has been warned, and if he keeps backing up, there it is.
So lost a point.
Now, if we get a takedown, if the Fullerton kid were to get a takedown, that would take away the major decision.
It would negate the major decision. It's now 9-1. We're under 10 seconds to go. Hernandez trying to come up with something as we wind down in this heavyweight match. We're now down to 2 seconds.
Oh, a lot of energy there.
9-1. Walbeck with the lead. He controls this match. Hernandez with the arm hold. That'll wrap it up.
Nice job.
Good moral victory there for Edgar Hernandez in the blue. He goes down to the feet to Chris Walbeck by a 9-1 score.
But now, even though he went down in defeat, like we were talking earlier, the fact that he kept from getting pinned or teched, he saved 2 team points for his team.
So that might make a difference as we approach the last 4 matches of the evening. It's now 16-14. We got a big, looks like Euro wrestler. Brandon Gushiken will be taking on Joey Geiler, the 120-pound class. Joey Geiler.
Oh, we got a win by
default.
Win by huge.
Now,
What
how
is
does
this?
that happen, Coach?
Oh, I have no clue. I don't know what's going on there. It's something strategically. I can't say they were afraid of my guy, but
Did they not have a wrestler in that position? We're going to have to find that out
must have
afterwards.
been. That must have been, and not according to all of our pre-match hype.
Is it possible the wrestlers did not show up? Because the wrestler that was on the mat is the wrestler that's going now, and that's Thomas Fragoza. So maybe.
And I tell you what, that's strategically. I don't know what's going on there with Coach Toledo, but this kid's this 33-pounder. He's a pretty tough little kid.
So maybe Joey Geiler doesn't show up. We'll have to find out afterwards. But credit Fullerton, they'll take the points any way they can get it. I'm sure Brandon would not, he'd like to wrestle on his own and hold himself accountable. But as a result, so that's going to hurt the cause.
Well, that's 22 to 14 with how many matches we have left? 2 matches left?
We've got the 133 and 149. So
look at here, look at this. Oh, do you see any difference in the speed?
A lot different, and that's the one thing that the smaller wrestlers bring. They bring a lot of excitement, a lot of velocity to the action on the mat. It's 2-0 in favor of Thomas Fragoza. Fragoza in the red. He is out of Stockton, Lincoln High School. He is the more active one right now. He leads. He leads David Rodriguez. David Rodriguez for Fullerton. He's a senior. He's out of Bishop Amat High School in Azusa. He's a senior, second-year varsity performer. And I think right now, Coach, he just wants to hold his own.
Well, ideally, this would put it away for Fullerton if they were to be able to pull this match out and win it. But why they forfeited at 125, I just don't understand that unless the kid didn't make weight or something like that.
Right, that's a possibility. Did he make weight? Did he arrive on the trip? We're gonna have to find that out. We need to find out why that match was forfeited. And then we'll try to get that information to you.
Yeah, in this case here, even if Fullerton were to lose the next 2 matches, that'd be 6 more points. That'd be 22 to 20. And now you see the impact of that heavyweight match of not getting the fall like Fresno probably expected to get.
22-14, first period of the 133-pound match.
Oh, nice little turnabout there, yes!
And a nice move by Rodriguez.
Look at there. That was a great little move on the edge of the mat, and that's where I know, and when I coach my own wrestlers, that's why I tell them that's the place they do not want to relax, because there's so many things, so many times they relax, and all of a sudden somebody can take advantage of that position.
It's 22-14.
Looks like we have another bleeder.
And we'll have to remedy that situation.
Yep. Well, this is at least inside the nose. Those are usually easier to stop up. So probably got a knee or elbow or something during the flurry of action, and
we'll check what the issue is with Thomas Fragoza. They've had their share of nosebleeds. And we'll see if Fragoza can continue. They need his points, as many as he can accumulate at this particular time.
Well, right now it's 2-2 on the scoreboard with a 1.5-minute riding time going in favor of the Fresno kid with a minute left in the period. So the Fullerton kid can possibly erase some of that riding time. So going into the second period, things would be more equal, more even.
2-2. Is the score in the 133-pound category. We've sent our correspondent, Julie Wheeler, who will be doing a post-game interview, one of our post-game interviews, along with myself and Coach Defner. We're going to find out what exactly happened to Joey Geiler and find out what took place, and was it a weight issue? Was it a not showing up issue? We'll find out. I know that Julie talked to one of the Abbas brothers, one of the assistant coaches, and she'll give us an update on that. It's 22-14.
Oh, we got a turn. We got a turn in act here. Looks like he's going to turn him. Got a near fall working. Up. He stepped over.
Nice move by Fragoza.
And a reversal. And there's a case where, the Fullerton kid trying to go for something that maybe wasn't there. Now he got his own reversal.
Nice comeback by Rodriguez.
And it's 4-4.
We found out from Julie, Coach, that Geiler had a previous elbow injury. So as a result, he couldn't compete.
Well,
so that makes a difference, and they didn't have another wrestler in that class to pick up the match. So advantage for the Titans and new coach Dan Hicks.
Okay, now in that last flurry, there must have been an escape in there, and then a takedown for the Fullerton kid, because the score stands 5-4 now in favor of Fullerton
as that first period ends. So Fullerton right now with that default and with the wrestler right now, Rodriguez, where he's at, Fullerton in a very advantageous position where you would want to be with the lead.
Oh yeah. Now and you can see again. Now I'm going back to what we talked about earlier in terms of the philosophy that now you can see Coach DeLito. This is where he gets excited when his wrestlers stop wrestling or start backing away.
And he sees the match slipping away.
Yeah. Well, here we go. There's takedown. Oh, huge takedown. Right here, back to what I was saying though. Coach Hicks has instilled an aggressive. Physical philosophy of staying on the attack and wearing their opponents down, and you can see some results of his coaching style right now already.
Fullerton on the course of the year, if you want to watch any of their other wrestling matches, they're going to have some opportunities. They'll host Portland State January 26th, San Francisco State on Valentine's Day the 14th, ASU on the 16th, a Sunday evening at 7:30. Embry-Riddle, February 21st. So that'll be their home matches. Those will be at Cal State Fullerton on the Titan campus. And come out and watch this wrestling program. You can see that it's in the early fruition stages where they can have something going here.
Well, I have to tell you, this would be a huge victory for Cal State Fullerton in this stage of their development. They've already beaten Stanford this year and UC Davis, and now they're on the process of making history tonight. If they pull this off, this would be a major upset.
Led by their new head coach, graduate out of Oregon State, outstanding wrestler himself in 1980, Dan Hicks, trying to make a wing and make a name for himself out here locally. He has lofty ambitions. He says he wants to get him to the NCAA within a 5 to 10 year period of time. And if this is any indication, don't doubt the man.
Well, he's like you said earlier, he came down here late in the recruiting cycle, but he's still gotten some premium wrestlers in the program. And if they keep this philosophy going, I think you could just see tonight where the excitement is. It's amazing. And now the kid from Fresno is warned the second time. That's another point for the Fullerton kid.
So Rodriguez leading the charge right now. David Rodriguez with a 8-4 lead. He's leading Thomas Fragoza. The last match of the day will be Casey Olson versus Juan Mora. But at this point in time, as we're wrapping up the second period of the 133-pound class, it's all Fullerton. 8-4. David Rodriguez over Thomas Fragoza, 22-14 overall, favor of the blue-clad Titans.
And you're seeing Rodriguez, his choice, third period. He's got a minute and 17 seconds riding time with a 4-point lead. He's choosing to take down. Obviously, he feels pretty solid there. Doesn't feel like he could be turned, but that he can get an escape or reversal and take a commanding lead.
We got 2 minutes.
Oh, he gets his escape.
He gets an escape, add on some points for David Rodriguez, so things going completely the way of the Fullerton Titans. They control this match 9-4. They control the match 22-14 with only the 141-pound class to go.
Let's look at the strategy here right now. If the Fresno kid keeps backing up, there's a good chance that he'll get warned for stalling again. In the meantime, if the Fullerton kid takes him down, which he's in the process of doing right now, he could eventually wind up getting a major decision out of this. And that's where we're at 5-4 with riding time. That's 6-4. Takedown makes it 8-4 or 10-4 and or 11-4, and that would put him in position to get a major decision.
And what a building block, Coach, as far as what lies ahead for Fullerton. They've got the Las Vegas Invitational this weekend coming up. A week from now, they'll be at Cal Poly. They've got a Tournament of Champions in Reno, and also the Lone Star Classic dual meet in Grand Prairie, Texas. So they've got a lot of things to look forward to as they're building this program.
Yeah, I'm looking at the sidelines of the Fresno State bench, and they just look like they're in a state of shock right now. So
they probably came in here with high expectations, with past reputation, being a monster team in the WAC conference, always being successful, relying on the past success of Coach Dennis DeLito. You know, rolling to 3 times reaching Division II NC2A championships. I mean, DeLito doing it in 64, 66, and 68. I mean, his last great finish was 8th place in 93 overall. So you're talking about a program that's had a tremendous amount of success being taken to the mat, so to speak, by an upstart.
Well, it's just there's some transitions taking place in the state. We're seeing some young coaches come in. Obviously, with Coach Hicks here at Cal State Fullerton, we saw our own John Azevedo from Calvary Chapel High School right down here in Santa Ana, the new coach at Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. Obviously, we got a win right here now. That makes it. I'm saying that's 12-4. That would be a major decision. That would be another 4 points for Fullerton, and that would just be too much, I would believe, for
that's going to put the score 26-14 when we're going in the last match, Casey Olson versus Juan Mora, and that'll be the last match of the day, and we'll see what happens there. This is the 141-pound class.
Well, you've got two premier. These are premier wrestlers right here. Both have fine credentials behind them, and Corey Olson, again, another junior college product out of Fresno City College, 2-time state champion himself. This should be an exciting match.
0-0, starting out in that 41-pound class, 141-pound class.
Again, I'm sure these two wrestlers are just kind of sparring around right now, just kind of feeling their way around the mat.
They're working their way, and as they wrap up, I mean, we've only got a couple more periods.
Oh, look at here, he's doing a reverse front headlock. Referee felt like there was no control, so no points awarded.
And we're winding down. Scoreless, no, it's 2-0, Golden West.
Cal State Fullerton.
Oh, see, you're going to catch me on that every time. Well, I've been pretty good today. I've been pretty good.
You have.
I mean, I'm glad I have you right by me to correct me, but I think I've only done it twice, so I'm proud of myself.
But that was a huge takedown by the Fullerton kid here. With a minute and a half left in the first period.
2-0. 1:30 to go in period number 1. We are in the 141-pound class.
Oh, look at here. Look at this.
Nice move.
Nice little. See, again, I think there's a situation where the Fullerton kid was trying to go for overextend himself and kind of committed himself to a move there where the Fresno kid could counter.
Juan Mora out of Rancho Buena Vista High School in San Diego.
Still in control.
He's got the lead.
Near cradle. Up.
And this would be another sweet victory for the Titans, where overall, if they take this one, they pretty much have dominated this entire meet.
Yeah, this would, you're seeing history being made tonight.
Credit Cal State Fullerton with their coach, Dan Hicks. They've already had some big victories early on. Brett Gordon, the 149-pound class, defeated Ricky Palomino 11-1. Dustin Vance took the 157. Chris Carlino, big 5-4 redemption victory over Eddie Gifford. Rowdy Lundegreen, Nice win. Some great wins by David Rodriguez we just saw.
Yep.
In the 133-pound class. He just defeated Thomas Fragoza 12-4. So all in all, with 25 seconds to go in period number 1 of our last match of the night in the 141 class, all Titans. This has got to excite you too, Coach, the fact that, okay, here we've got a Division I school wrestling now where potentially, you know, we could be seeing the start of something big.
Oh, look at here. Oh, look at here.
Olson trying to put a little light, a better light on that, and he does.
Saves him.
But he's beat by the buzzer, so Casey Olson ready to finish off Juan Mora. He couldn't quite do it. He did come up with a couple points. He leads now overall 4-2, but to the luck of the way it's been going for the Bulldogs, couldn't get the pin at the buzz just prior to the buzzer.
Oh yeah, he had an opportunity there, and I'm sure he was trying to take advantage of that and finish the match, because right now he's been dominated pretty much by Mora, and that gives a lot of credit again to the Fullerton kid. So
Juan Mora holding his own now. We're under 1 minute and 50 seconds to go in the second period.
Yeah, Corey
the
Olson,
final match of the day.
Yeah, Corey Olson's known as a kind of a leg rider kind of guy, and you can kind of see him kind of worming around down there. And got reversed.
Olson, another Clovis product, but nice move there to gain the 2 points by Juan Mora. We're tied at 4.
And with riding time. So right now Mora's in the driver's seat.
And strategically, you know, you're going to take as much riding time as you possibly can.
Well, you can, but again, you don't want to put yourself in, you know, there's always the expression here, coaches say give him 1 but not 2. And that expression leads to the fact that sometimes you overextend yourself and you take risks that you possibly shouldn't take that would allow your opponent to be able to reverse you and accumulate some riding time of their own.
We are still tied at 4. Juan Mora in the blue for Fullerton. Casey Olson in the red for Fresno State. Fresno State, big victory tonight. They are ahead 26-14, last match of the evening. We are glad we can bring this to you from Golden West College in Huntington Beach. A little scheduling issue, and Coach Dale Defner was glad to bring Division I wrestling on this campus.
I'm sure that with this match going the way it's going, that I'm sure Fullerton would have rather had it at home where their home fans could see it and their own administrators could see what's going on here.
Yes,
this
they
is
still
history.
had a nice turnout otherwise. We've got a good crowd here. The people who are interested in the program at least can spread the word.
Yeah, I'm looking through the crowd here. I see wrestlers out of Palomar College down in San Marcos. I see the coaches from Cerritos College here right now. I see the coach from Rio Hondo up in the crowd. This is a huge match, and I'm sure they're seeing a lot of history here being made.
With wrestling, it's sort of a fraternity. You know how great its sport it is, and you want to get the word out there to other potential athletes who can compete in it.
Well, I just don't want to see the sport to be, killed off. I think it has something to offer for athletes that there's not too many sports where athletes of a smaller stature, guys like myself, a little under 6 feet,
just a wee tad.
The lightweight guys can excel in a sport and feel like they're contributing as much as all the big guys. And this is one of those kind of sports that offers something for everybody.
And it offers discipline, it offers structure, it offers physical training unlike any other sport.
Yep. Now look at what just happened here. Strategically, the match was 4-4. Mora had riding time. So he had on the scoreboard it would have been 5-4, and he just released Corey Olson to give him the escape. So for all intents and purposes, the match is tied, and we're going into the last minute and a half of the match. He who gets the takedown will probably win the match right now.
Right now, Mora, not concerned. We're down to 1 minute and 28 seconds.
Look at that inside trip. Oh, boy, he extended himself there.
And just like you called it, Coach, Mora came up with the 2 points that's now going to put him out ahead.
Yep.
6-5.
Yep, and with riding time. So right now he's in the driver's seat. Oh, look at here.
Fullerton wants to cap
There's
this evening
points.
on a high
There's
note.
points.
Let's see if they can do it. We're waiting for the referee's call. Referee Pat Codwalter trying to finish it off to end a glorious night for Cal State
Minute left in the
Fullerton.
match. There's a minute left.
Cadwalder down on the mat
Look
with
at the
Mora
struggle
and
here.
Olson. Mora trying to finish it off to cap the evening for the Titans.
Look at the struggle, and look at the arm around the neck right now.
We're down to 46 seconds to go in the match as the scoreboard goes black. There's excitement running rampant here. We don't know how much time we'll say, about 30 seconds to go. And that's it. A way to end the match for the Titans. It's all Titans. Big victory. One of the biggest wins in Division I wrestling that you're going to find ever in Southern California. A final big pin victory by Juan Mora will cap a historic evening for Cal State Fullerton. We have had a great evening, Coach Defner.
This is huge. This is huge. You saw history in the making here. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of copies of this program made for every athlete and for all the administrators at Cal State Fullerton to see what their program's done in this young career.
What a great win. Overall, 32-14 is the final score. Complete dominance by the Cal State Fullerton Titans. They come away with a big victory. They come away with a win that puts them in a position where they can take this win and sort of leapfrog and catapult themselves to where they can set themselves up for the course of the following season, what remains in the rest of the year.
Well, right now they're making a statement to everybody else in the state that Fullerton's back on the map, and that with this kind of victory over a team that's had a long-standing tradition. I mean, Coach DeLito has a lot of credits to his career, and he's had some outstanding athletes, people that have performed at the Division I level, have competed at that level, and you read off some of his credentials earlier. That program's, they're far from being dead, but it's kind of a wake-up call, I'm sure, for them to look at what happened tonight and see what's happening with Fullerton.
We will be back. You see the final score there, an historic final score. We'll have a couple interviews coming your way. We'll do a quick wrap-up for you. An historic night for the Cal State Fullerton Titans. They come away with a big wrestling win over Fresno State, 32-14. We'll be back in a moment.
In today's multicultural, interconnected world, things change really fast. The only way to compete globally is to get a global education. As a YFU international exchange student, you gain the knowledge and the skills that will prepare you to be a world player. If you're between 15 and 18 and have the guts to jump out of your familiar surroundings and land in one of 30 countries around the world, you're the type of student YFU is looking for. Call 1-800-ARE-YOU-READY and ask for this free book on international exchange for high school students.
Okay, let's go. We're ready. Let's go, guys. Back on the campus of Golden West College, a historic evening. I'm looking at the man who started it all off and got it going. Dan Hicks leads his Cal State Fullerton Titans to a big win. And, Coach, you got to be extremely pleased with what your team did today.
Excited about it. The guys did a good job. They're working real hard, and they're believing in what we're trying to teach them and going out and doing it. And this was a big match for us because Fresno was a bit higher class than the ones we've been wrestling, so I knew it would be a tough match, and they've got some good kids, and the guys stepped up.
I thought that Carlino match was really big. He really redeemed himself from a week ago.
Yeah, he did. He got after it a little more. You know, it was questionable call early that could have went either way, and so put him behind, and that's where All-Americans are made, when they come from behind and refuse to lose. And Gifford's a tough kid. I think he's ranked 10th or 11th in the country, so that's a big win for him to hang in there.
And Coach Deffer, you sense that in that match?
Well, I've said that the whole night, that there's a new attitude in the room, in the program. You saw it throughout the meet, that the kids, even though, like you mentioned, there was a questionable takedown call there on the edge, but he didn't quit, didn't give up. He kept the faith and kept coming back. And but you saw that in all the kids. They were all aggressive and staying on the attack the whole night. I thought that paid dividends for you in the end.
Did. Well, that's what we've been working on all year, is to instill an attitude of pride, that they can get out there and get after it and have some confidence, and trying to get on people hard so that they get wore out and tired. And I think we did that. They were real tired in the third period, and our guys could open up. So the kids are believing in it and risking, going after things. So that's going to help us a lot.
Has it been tough for you to come into a program on sort of a late notice, all right, but yet you've got them buying into what you want to accomplish, it appears?
I think that the kids were already there for the most part, and we got some key transfers that came in that really helped us, but I think they were ready for that. They were ready for some structure, they were ready for some energy and some focus, and that's what we've done. We've just worked hard, and they're great kids. It's not like I went out and had to find a bunch of guys. They were already there. Guys transferred in, got a bit older group, and it's them. They've worked hard and bought into what we're trying to do.
Coach?
Yeah, I think that's anytime you got that kind of veteran leadership, that adds to the program too. And like you say, if they buy into the program, hey, they're becoming your disciples, and I think we're going to see some real exciting things to come in the future. This is just the tip of the iceberg here.
And do you feel that this is going to build you up for the rest of the year?
Well, it's a good springboard for us in the Pac-10. And that's good. We needed this to get some confidence, and our goal is to try to set ourselves up in California. It's good for Southern California. So,
Coach Hicks, thanks again. We appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you. It was great to have Coach Dan Hicks on. He got us going. He got us rolling, and he got us to the point where he did really well. And good luck on what you got going ahead, and go and nail them and take care of some business down the road, and we'll get that going. And we'll get you situated. We're going to take a break right now, or are we going to come back and we'll get a couple more interviews? We'll be back, and we'll get something going, and we'll get it going and get started and get you situated on that.
Brandon Gushiken.
Okay, come on, Brandon. Come on, Julie.
He was previously a student here at Golden West College. Brandon, how is it to be back in your old gym tonight?
Yeah, it's great. It's a great opportunity to be in here and show everybody around how Fullerton is.
Were you happy with your win by forfeit, or were you disappointed that you didn't get to get out there on the mat?
A little bit of both. The forfeit sealed up the win for the team, so it's a great bonus, but I would have liked to get out there, wrestle.
Thank you so much, Brandon.
Thanks.
Julie took care of Brandon, got him going in regards to that. Your match, it was a key match, very instrumental, a little bit of redemption. Last Saturday you faced the same guy, and what was your strategy going in?
I wrestled him 2 times last year, and then basically every match was like this match, same ones, real close. I know last time I kind of started a little late going into the third period. I kind of stayed on my heels, and I really didn't get into it until the third. This match I came in and decided to just go out right off the bat and keep shooting the whole time, and it worked.
One of the things that impressed me as a coach is just looking at your character of being taken down in the first period, not giving up or quitting, that you came back strong, you got your escape, you came back on him, and you pressed him the whole match. We thought he was going to run out of blood before the end of the match, but you stayed in his face, and I saw that as paying a lot of dividends for you.
Thank you. When you're down, it's just part of wrestling. You have to, and those are the matches you have to win. That's wrestling, especially at this level. I know he's really tough, really flexible, and when you're down like that, you just have to keep coming back and non-stop. That's all it is to it. Yep. Thank you.
Did you learn anything from facing him the first time that you were really able to utilize this time around?
Well, he's kind of the same wrestler that I wrestled last time. The main thing I learned is that The first period I couldn't sit back like I did the first time I wrestled this year, but that's about it. And I know I had to finish higher this time. When I take my shot, I had to come up in the crotch higher and finish quicker because he's real flexible, real funky. And last week I had the same takedown I was in, and he did some funk roll, and he got out of it. So yeah, wrestling last week definitely helped me a lot.
Well, how'd you get him too? Didn't you nick him up a little bit?
Yeah.
How did that happen?
That's just wrestling. He got me on my back, a little scratch, but that's just wrestling. That happens all the time.
Well, congratulations,
Thank you.
Chris. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. Thanks for coming our way. Thanks again.
Thank you.
And we want to thank Coach Hicks and his staff. And Coach, final wrap-up, you got to be pleased with what you saw today. I mean, a big move and a big advancement, an opportunity for Division I wrestling locally.
Well, I like to be part of that scene and seeing what's going on now at Cal State Fullerton. I just hope that they are able to carry on that tradition now. They've got a great starting point right now, and like the coach says, if he can get his athletes to buy in the system, now he gets out and does some recruiting. This will pay a lot of make recruiting a lot easier down the line.
It's got to be exciting to see what lies ahead for wrestling, not only for Cal State Fullerton, but for wrestling in all of Southern California. For Coach Dale Defner, this is Andy Mariani. We'll catch you next time when we bring you some exciting wrestling action, community college style next time. Thanks for joining us tonight. It was all Cal State Fullerton.